At first, it looked like just another travel vlog moment on a busy Philippine street. But within minutes, it became something no one expected. A small group of Chinese tourists stepped off a jeepney into a lively area filled with smoke, laughter, and sizzling grills. They came curious, cautious, and unsure. What began as a simple food trip slowly turned into an experience that surprised them deeply and would later capture millions of viewers online. The Philippine street food culture is not polished or glamorous, but it is alive and personal. Every stall represents daily life, not performance. For locals, street food is affordable comfort and routine. For the Chinese tourists, it was unfamiliar territory. They came from places where food is often cleanly plated and eaten indoors. Cameras were ready, but their expressions showed uncertainty about how far they would really go. The street was noisy and crowded. Vendors shouted orders while oil popped loudly in deep pans. Skewers of meat glistened under bare light bulbs. One tourist pointed nervously at a tray of chicken intestines. Another laughed in disbelief. The vendor smiled warmly and said one word, Isaw. The tourists exchanged looks. This wasn't what they imagined trying first. But curiosity slowly outweighed hesitation. The first bite was careful and slow. One tourist chewed with a tense face, clearly expecting something unpleasant. Then his eyebrows lifted. He smiled, surprised. It's actually good, he said. Laughter followed. One by one, the others tried it. Their reactions were honest and unplanned. This exact moment would later become a favorite clip online, showing genuine surprise instead of exaggeration. Next came fish balls and squid balls frying in hot oil. The vendor asked which sauce they wanted, sweet, spicy, or vinegar. The tourists hesitated again, realizing sauce mattered. One chose spicy and instantly coughed, laughing as locals handed him water. Another tried vinegar and nodded with approval. These small reactions made the moment feel real and relatable, not staged. As they walked, the smells changed. Banana Q caramelized in oil. Turon crackled as sugar hardened. One tourist bit into turon and smiled instantly. This one I can eat every day, she said. The vendor laughed proudly. Nearby locals smiled too. This was no longer about being brave. It was about enjoying something familiar to Filipinos and discovering why it mattered. Then came the moment everyone warned them about. Balut. The word alone made them stop walking. They had heard stories and seen reactions online. A fertilized duck egg wasn't something they imagined eating. The vendor cracked the shell and handed it over with salt. Cameras moved closer. Silence followed. One tourist stared at it for a long moment before finally taking a breath. He drank the broth first. His face froze, then he laughed in disbelief. It's not what I expected, he said honestly. Some tourists couldn't bring themselves to try. Others did. Reactions ranged from shock to curiosity. No one pretended to love it. No one mocked it either. That honesty became one of the most praised parts of the video later. As the night continued, fear slowly turned into excitement. The tourists joked with vendors, asked questions, and even tried speaking a few Filipino words. The vendors responded with patience and humor. There was no pressure, only shared laughter. Locals watching nearby enjoyed seeing foreigners genuinely engage with something so normal to them. One tourist admitted on camera that he expected street food to be dirty and unsafe. After hours of eating without problems, he openly said he was wrong. That moment struck viewers deeply. It wasn't defensive or dramatic. It was simply honest. Many Filipinos later commented that this admission meant more than compliments. The group continued eating, trying kwek-kwek, grilled pork, and other snacks. Each stall added a new layer to the experience. The tourists were no longer filming just for content. They were asking about ingredients, cooking methods, and prices. Curiosity replaced fear completely. What stood out was how they treated the food. They didn't call it weird or gross. They didn't treat it like a challenge. They listened when vendors explained. They reacted honestly. This respect was noticed immediately by Filipino viewers once the video was uploaded. By dessert time, they were tired, but smiling. They shared halo halo, laughing as ice melted everywhere. One tourist said quietly that street food taught him more about the Philippines than any hotel or tour ever could. That sentence would later be quoted thousands of times online. When the video was finally uploaded, None of them expected much. Then the views climbed rapidly. Comments flooded in from Filipinos, thanking them for being respectful. Others came from Chinese viewers curious about Filipino food. Many said the video made them want to try street food themselves. Reaction channels picked up the clip. Short highlights spread across platforms. News pages wrote small features about it. What started as a simple night out became a viral conversation. And yet, there was nothing dramatic or aggressive about it. What truly went viral wasn't shock or fear. It was authenticity. Viewers could tell the reactions weren't exaggerated. The tourists didn't try to perform for views. They simply experienced something new and shared it honestly. Filipinos online appreciated that the tourists didn't make jokes at the food's expense. They didn't treat culture as entertainment. They treated it as something worth understanding. That respect mattered deeply. Chinese viewers also responded positively. Many commented that they never knew Filipino street food looked like that. Some admitted they were afraid of street food before, but now felt curious. The video became a bridge between cultures. The tourists later reflected that fear often comes from lack of understanding. Once they stopped assuming and started listening, everything changed. The food wasn't scary anymore. It was meaningful. They learned that street food is not about danger or poverty. It is about creativity, community, and survival. Every stall exists because someone worked hard to make it. Filipino street food itself didn't change. It stayed exactly the same as it always was. What changed was perception, and that shift was powerful. In a time when online content is often angry or divided, this video felt different. It showed curiosity instead of judgment, respect instead of mockery. There were no arguments, no debates, no politics. Just people eating together and learning from each other. That simplicity made it stand out. The reactions went viral not because they were loud or dramatic, but because they were real. People recognized sincerity instantly. In the end, Chinese tourists didn't just try Filipino street food. They discovered a deeper story behind it. And by reacting with honesty and respect, they reminded millions that cultural connection can still happen in the simplest places, even on a busy street corner.